It's an exciting time. There's no doubt it's an exciting time with new facilities, bringing these elementary schools together. It's new opportunity, right? And there's a lot of tradition here. They haven't been together as a DGF or Dilworth, Glen, Felton for that long, but there's a lot of tradition that's happened in those years, and we're just excited now to take that to a whole new place.
It's exciting to see the changes that we're making are working because you can see it in the students that we have here at DGF. And that's the feather in all of our hats, is when you make a change that you think is for the positive and the students prove you right.
It's such a wonderful area because we have the metro, we have all of the big things that you would expect from metro area, but you have small world living out here, and it's a family. I mean, it really is a community that works together, grows together.
Dilworth, Glen, Felton Public Schools, where the individual student-first attention of a small-town family atmosphere is combined with the opportunities and advantages of a much larger school. We are all rebels, and now, thanks to the incredible support of our 3 tradition-rich communities, with the opening of our new pre-K through 4th grade elementary school, we are all rebels from the very beginning.
Lots and lots of hours of meetings, making sure that we got the vision right for DGF, and when they voted to approve it, bringing the elementary schools together, people were ready for it. You know, going back to 1992 when the high schools combined and then the middle schools, and then when my son was in 5th grade, they combined them a year or 2 before. That was the first kind of class they brought together. And so now we've kind of went full circle, and we've finished what they started back in the early 90s, and now these preschoolers are going to be here together from day one, and it's huge.
You know, you look back and I think the construction was one thing, it was the building of the frame. Now it's time to focus on what's going on inside the walls, and we're really moving that direction. I feel excited about next year with the science of reading, the curriculum, that piece. We're looking at expanding our preschool program, more offerings for preschool, early childhood, and offerings for daycare in the building. And so those are 2 big changes for our elementary school.
I went to school at DGF, moved over from Moorhead in 6th grade, and as soon as I knew I was going to be a teacher, I knew I wanted to be back at DGF. And the stars aligned, and I got in at Glendon, and this has been my only teaching job. I was in Glendon Felton Elementary, and then our first year together here at DGF Elementary. But I was talking with a coworker of mine about how many DGF grads have come back to work here. And I think that just speaks volumes about the school. People want to come back. And there's plenty of elementary schools in the area, but the fact that so many people went through the system and wanted to come back, I think is huge.
From our new state-of-the-art elementary, the Rebel Education Journey moves to our Glendon facility, where our middle school and high school students come together under one roof.
I think one thing that DGF does really well is its transition from students in elementary to students in secondary, because they have that 5th grade year that's still sort of the elementary world. By 7th grade, they're more so the secondary world. 6th grade, where I'm at, is really awesome because we get to transition them from the elementary world into the secondary world. And, you know, we have that elementary mindset, but yet we know where they're headed. So I think it's a wonderful transition for them, and as we all know, middle school can be a difficult time period for a lot of kids, and I think we do that well at DGF. I think we help students transition from the elementary world to the secondary world really well.
I think it's just helped with the high school kids being over here. We share some staff that way, and our programming, I think, is going to just get enhanced because of that. We're able to do things with the high school and that we didn't have available to us when we were in Dilworth.
Opportunity and experience is the name of the game as our students move from middle school into high school, and we strive to prepare our children to take their next step in life, no matter what that step is.
I think depending on the track that some of our kids are on, we're going to have a career path for everyone that enters our building. And I think that's the big focus and why we're looking to offer such a wide variety of things for our kids, because we want to make sure it's not just your college track students or your trade students. We're going to have something some niche for everyone that walks through this building. They're going to be able to exit here with a purpose and have something that they want to do, and we're going to prepare them for that.
Preparing for life, whether that's college, trade, getting a job, teaching kids how to be resourceful, how to work hard, not being afraid of a challenge, afraid to fail, right? Expecting a lot out of themselves and treating people the right way is really big.
And it's not just the educational programs the district is constantly striving to improve. Creating the very safest and most welcoming learning environment is also an emphasis. With the latest in modern facilities and cutting-edge initiatives like the new Farm to School school lunch program.
All of our beef comes from a farmer that is within 15 miles of our Glendon High School. The cows graze right out there on the Glendon pastures, so that's kind of neat. We have pork that comes from a small family farm out of Henning, Minnesota. Honey from a Glendon farmer. So bees that are actually producing honey off of our local flowers and trees. And then we also do potatoes out of Halstead, Minnesota. Just different farmers that we're going to utilize different produce from, your tomatoes or cucumbers, things along that line.
That connection has created a buzz in our kitchen, which has been fun to hear. You don't not often hear a 5th grader or a 6th grader talk about school lunch on the way home, but we've had multiple parents talk about school lunch. There's something going on because it's all my kid talks about. So Shannon has done an outstanding job, and her staff, so it's just exciting to see.
And what ties it all together, from pre-K through graduation day, is an undying feeling of rebel pride.
Being a rebel isn't, being an instigator or anything like that. It's a go-getter. It's somebody that's going to go typically the extra mile. It's somebody that's going to compete.
I think it means having not only a connection to your class, but to your community and the district as well. I mean, it's more than just I come and I show up and I'm a member of the school, but a member of the community and the way the kids support each other. I think that's a big part, which is a huge part why my own kids will be here and come here as opposed to the district we live in. I want them to have this experience. My years here, it's always been DGF Rebels, and I think it really is a community that comes together for everybody in all 3 communities.
Dilworth, Glendon, and Felton. Individual communities with deep-held traditions and pride, all of which still exist today. But thanks to our kids, who over the past 20+ years have shown us the way, we are now all rebels, and together we will continue to work to create a bright educational future for our children, our families, and our communities.
The positive stuff always wins. It always comes out, and it takes a little while to find it sometimes, but more and more I see that, and more people are getting together that have that same vision. And I would say, just to sum it up, I feel optimistic and I feel hopeful, and I just see opportunities. So I'm excited to see where we go.